Everybody, myself included, expected this mini mid-month update to be a complete flop. We've got Thing, who's PvP support, whatever's going on, no iframe ignore, no support artifact, who knows? No tier 4. And then we got Human Torch, maybe also PvP, we don't know, right? Because Franklin and the rest of the Fantastic Four are all PvP, and he's got no iframe ignore, and he's got nothing going on for him for PvP. That's what we thought. But then we started looking into the update genuinely, and we found a little bit more interesting things going on, and definitely worth checking out for new and old players alike. So I want to talk about that today, starting off with Human Torch, because we didn't really have a chance to test Thing at all, because, like I said, just PvP. Really need Franklin's artifact. I'm 2 days out from getting Franklin's artifact, so that's really going to be the timeline of when I can start testing an actual Fantastic Four PvP team semi-seriously. I will give them PvP builds. I just won't be able to, I won't go so far as to tier 4 them. Like, that's kind of too crazy, but they will be level 80, so we'll see, you know, what a budget version looks like. But in the meantime, I'm going to talk about this guy right here, because I don't think anyone expected him to be as strong as he is. He is very, very strong, and I gotta say, my initial impression was something like, is this the best character for newer players? Question mark. Is this the best character for players who are like returning and have a little bit of Pierce and need just like a really strong character to just plow through World Boss? Yeah, you might be looking at him. We're gonna have to take him into other tests in the future, into like GBR and stuff, to see if he holds up. But for World Boss, he's an absolute machine. And I like, what you're about to see is pretty crazy. So this is a screenshot that I took of stage 60 of Gore. Now, I know they nerfed Gore and Ultron a couple of updates ago, but I was under the impression that this stage was reserved for tier 4s. At the very least, I thought this stage was reserved for level 80s. You could probably be with me on that one, right? You thought, okay, you got to be at least level 80 to do this stage, Alex. No. And this was my very first try, almost my very first try playing Human Torch. And certainly my very first try on this stage with all of Gore's bullshit ass movement. Now, yeah, we do have one tier 4 striker that I failed to realize we have Iron Man. So maybe we don't do this without Iron Man, maybe. But maybe we play better and we can do it without Iron Man. Right? And just to be clear here, I'm not doing any cheesy BS where I'm clearing stage 60, but I have 20 Odin's Blessings. No, we got one Odin's Blessing. I'm not doing any cheesy shit where I have a 6-star artifact or I have a mighty or a brilliant CTP. None of the cheese, okay? This is pure, I don't know, dough, I guess. Just a regular CTP of Judgment. Yeah. I was actually floored by this. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe I've lost touch with Gore and Ultron and how easy they are now. If this is possible for any of you out there with a level 70 character and you have proof, please come forward. Please send me a screenshot. Obviously, you know, not if you're using like a brilliant CTP or whatever. But yeah, I was really surprised that he was able to do this. And then it gets better, ladies and gentlemen. I woke up to this screenshot. Now, unfortunately, Crystal Gut ruined it by asking, Lean, are you gay? Which is kind of funny. But holy shit. Again, this one uses 2 tier 4s. It uses Magneto and Doctor Strange. So you might be thinking, oh, okay, Alex. Yeah, tier 4 Human Torch with 2 tier 4 strikers. But then I want to remind you, this is a 33-second clear. So it doesn't matter what strikers you're using, because they're not coming out more than once or twice. They're not doing that much damage. This is insane. I think this is by far the fastest. I physically cannot clear, right? I physically cannot clear these stages that fast with any of my characters. I could take my Brilliant Rage, Magneto. I could take my Mighty Judgment, you know, Professor X. There's no way I'm doing it in less than like 2-3 minutes. So this is absurd. I've never seen anything like this. And again, if you have seen anything like this, if you've seen a tier 4 basically one-shotting, this is basically almost a one-shot. And actually, you know what? It basically is a one-shot, because if you look, it's not, okay, in the strictest definition of the term, it's not a one-shot. But if you look at the 6th skill being with 1 second cooldown, it means he only used the 6th skill once, right? He did not use the 6th skill twice because of the timer being, you know, if the timer's at 33 seconds, it means that there, you know, this would have to say like 29 or something like that, or 28 for him to have used it twice. So that's just, to me, that's just insane. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about, is that Human Torch seems very, very, very strong for a level 70, and maybe also for a level 80, and maybe also for a tier 4. Now, how much value you're going to get out of him, this is the other question. How much value you're going to get out of him, I don't know. Now, if we look at the tier 4 list, right? So Spider-Gwen and Captain Marvel at the top there, available for tons of stages for everybody, okay? And then all the way at the bottom, you have your lowly Adam Warlock, who's available for the fewest stages. Okay, this is how that breaks down. Okay, if we zoom in a little bit here, you can see that Human Torch is near the bottom. He's available for 4 different restrictions, so that's 20 stages of Null, 20 stages of Mephisto and Ultron, 15 stages of Gore, 15 stages of Jean, 0 stages of Kang. So he's only available from Kang 1 to 9, and that's it. And then he is available for 25 stages of Black Swan plus the 1 to 9. So that puts him at a total of 23. Now, if we zoom out, I know this is going to get kind of crazy, but let me block him out so it's a little bit easier to see in red here, maybe. Okay. If we zoom out, that actually puts Human Torch in the bottom 20%, because there's 51 tier 3s right now, I believe, and he is in the bottom 10. He's actually the first one. He's number 1 of the bottom 10. So that does put him in the bottom 20% in terms of value for how many stages he's available for. So that is kind of annoying. I do wish that they had made him available for more stages. I actually, you know what? I want to check. I actually thought he had leadership, but I guess he never did. I guess I was always imagining that. He has fast movement and flame. Fast movement is used very rarely in world boss stages, and then flame is never used, I believe. Yeah, it's a shame. He just has bad ability. Frankly, he just has bad abilities for world boss legend stages. But that aside, he's still insanely strong. I was shocked. And I actually do want to get him to level 80 to see how much higher I can push him, because it's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts. And yes, the old uniforms are noticeably slower, so you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, his rotation, by the way, for those people that were wondering and were worried, his rotation is very easy. You just 4 delay cancels when he throws up the flames, and then 3 cancel 5. That's it. That's all you got to do, and then he makes his fireball and he drops it. That's the rotation. It's very straightforward. When you have the 6th skill, you do 4 delay, 3 cancel, 6 cancel, 5. You still want to cancel into 5 because you have more hits overlapping, and the proc that you get from 5, it's activated while 6 is going off and while 4 is going off, so you do get all of that damage buff. So they did actually design him very well to be very proc friendly. So you certainly don't have to use him with a judgment. You could use him with an energy. You could use him even with like a mighty destruction if you wanted to. He's very, very proc friendly. Not difficult at all to use with a proc. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. The second thing I want to talk about is the uniform collection. So this was a big surprise. They didn't announce this in the patch notes. Everybody was saying, oh, there's no uniform collection in the patch notes, so we're definitely getting a Doom mid-month. And then we look, and there's a uniform collection. So then everybody was like, "Aw, man, shit, we're not getting Dr. Doom. This is so lame. It's over, guys." Well, as confusing as it is, I'm here to say we are still getting Dr. Doom. This is my belief. And let me explain why in sort of like 2 steps. The first step is when you're downloading the game, or when you're opening up the game, if you look at the version number, or if you miss that because it goes by pretty fast, depending on your Wi-Fi connection, you go to settings, you will see it says version 10.1.1. That is the design, like that is the nomenclature that they use when there's going to be a second mid-month. Because if there's only one mid-month, it would go 10.1.0 for the initial Fantastic Four update, and then 10.1.5 for the update we just got. But because the 0 moved to the last number, right? Moved from a 0 to a 1 instead of from a 0 to a 5. This means that there's going to be another mid-month, which is 10.1.5. And that should be, in my opinion, Doctor Doom. And maybe just Doctor Doom. It'll be like a naked Doctor Doom tier 4 uniform like we did with Mystique. And yeah, I actually do think that is the case. And the other reason I want to explain here has to do with a calendar. So if we take a look here at a calendar, if we take a look at a calendar for July, I want to point out a couple of things here. So the Future Pass, if you look, has 15 days left on it. So just remember 15 days left on the Future Pass. Remember that when the Future Pass expires, when the Future Pass has like 1 day left or 0 days left, we start seeing sneak peeks. We don't get the next update, but we start seeing sneak peeks for the next update. And then I also want to point out that the Deadpool movie, it starts coming out on the 25th and the 26th. So the 25th and the 26th is the, we'll circle it in yellow, is the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. All right? And the update we just had is right here. We're actually right here, right? It's the 26th, I believe, of June. Yeah. So this was the update we just had right here, the week before July. So if you go 15 days from here, from the 26th, we have the 3rd, right? We jump ahead 7 days. We jump ahead 14 days. So the Future Pass is going to end right here. The Future Pass is actually going to end on the 12th. Which means if they have two choices, basically. They could drop the first sneak peek here for the next full update, and then drop another sneak peek here, and then do the live stream here, right? And then have the update. Have the update here, right? I'm trying to make a new shape here, but I'm not doing a very good job here. Have the update here, and obviously here for some people. That's what I think is going to happen. But in the meantime, there has to be another update, right? This is talking about the full update. Which means if they're going to do another mid-month, it has to be basically either here or it has to be here. So in 1 or 2 weeks, we're going to, in basically less than 2 weeks, less than a week or less than 2 weeks, we're going to be seeing the next mid-month, which I believe is Doctor Doom. Which also means, depending on when they do it, it means that we should be seeing sneak peeks very soon. We should be seeing sneak peeks on like the 28th of June, or the 1st of July, because then they're going to drop the update on the 2nd or the 3rd. They could drop it on the 9th, but yeah, I kind of think they're going to do it sooner rather than later. But it's whatever, right? It's whatever. So yeah, I do still think there's going to be a second mid-month. I do still think it's going to be Doctor Doom. I'm still fairly confident in that. They could go out of left field and do somebody else, but even if they do somebody else and it's not Doom, it's definitely going to be another mid-month. So don't worry too much if there's not that much in this update besides Human Torch for you to enjoy, because we do have more content coming soon, and we have all those events that are going to overlap with the content as well, like the Cosmic Core and stuff. And I actually want to cover the Cosmic Core in more detail this time around, because with the buffed rewards, it is a very good opportunity to sort of farm CTPs. The last thing I want to talk about here before I forget is that they applied the refund. So you got to be careful here. If you bought the Franklin pack, if you hit acquire all, you're going to be 1,500 crystals richer. You have to download a patch. It'll prompt you with a 6 megabyte patch to download. So if you're in game and you check your gift tab or your inbox tab and you don't see the 1,500 crystals, but you bought the Franklin pack for money, then restart your game, download the patch, and you will have your 1,500 crystal refund. For those of you wondering why the Franklin pack is not available for crystals yet, even though people are getting the refund, yeah, your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. But I will say this. It's going to be in the July update. That's what they said. But maybe it'll be in the July mid-month update, right? Because we know there's going to be one more mid-month. It's either going to be here or it's going to be here. Maybe that is when they're going to apply the changes to Franklin's pack. If they don't do it then they're going to do it here or here when the next update comes. And given the proximity to the Deadpool and Wolverine update, I do believe that this next full update with maintenance and downtime will be Deadpool and Wolverine. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for that, as you can probably guess. Anyway, I hope they don't screw up Wolverine, and I hope they don't screw up for the 50th time. I hope they don't screw up Deadpool. There's a lot riding on that update. Hopefully they make them both very strong. Anyways, I'll have a separate video talking about my expectations for that, because there's a lot. But yeah, surprisingly okay. You know, again, I don't think it's a huge update. I think people are going to be bored in like 4 or 5 days, but I think that's okay this time around because, like I said, there's going to be another mid-month. So yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Smash the like button if you enjoyed the content. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll be live streaming Elden Ring again very soon. So keep your eyes peeled on the YouTube channel live. Take care.